we go. All right, so what we need to do now is we need to get that drawing transferred to this paper. But we also want it kind of centered and in the right spot. You'll notice that you can see the edge of the photocopy here is slightly smaller than the paper that we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this paper all the way over here. I'm trying to keep an even distance top to bottom. See, there's my top, there's my bottom. That's pretty close. If you understand what I'm saying, from this edge to this edge to this edge is pretty close. And then I'm just going to slide it all the way over to the left edge here and get it dead even with this left edge. I want it perfectly aligned with that left edge right there. So make sure that you got it perfectly aligned, because we have a straight edge here and we have a straight edge with the white paper, and the whole idea is that when we transfer it, everything will be level and straight on it. So I'm checking it, wanting to make sure I don't have any little white peeking out this edge, and that it's perfectly aligned. Then I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to put one right here, halfway on the colored paper and halfway on my transfer paper, and then another one right here. I gave you each a piece of tape that's about that big. You just need two, and you want it to go completely across. What that's going to do is it makes it so if I need to lift up and check things, I can, but I need enough surface tape down that when I start to transfer this, that this paper doesn't wiggle and move. I don't want it moving around, because if it starts moving around, you'll get a double image, messes the whole thing up. Life becomes very unhappy for all of us, and we don't want that to happen. So after I have this on the back, and I got it taped on the back like that, then I'm going to turn it over. Everything's lined up now, theoretically. Hopefully it is with yours. And now is the fun part. And it's okay to have this pencil be a little dull, because we're going to make a mess anyway. Now we're going to come along, and anywhere that our frog is, our image, now you don't have to color the whole thing black. I'm just going along where I know I have some lines. I'm pressing fairly hard, but not super hard. You don't want to press so hard that it dents the paper underneath. You're just trying to get the graphite to transfer, and I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. I've got this going right here. I'm just doing his little foot as an example right here. Okay, now when I lift that up, if you look on my paper, right here, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a light image. That little foot is right there, okay? If you can't see it, then you might have to go back and darken this line on here so it will transfer onto your other paper. So what I'm going to do is go through, finish this little foot. So if it absolutely is not showing up at all, it means that your original trace line is not dark enough. I'm going to trace the edge of the tree right there, and then the line going down the top of the tree, and I'm going to do this leg, and then I'll check it again. As I'm doing this, I didn't go in and fill the whole leg in. I only did the part where I know I had some lines. I don't need to do every single thing. Then I'll lift it up and I'll look. Sure enough, it is transferring. It looks actually pretty good. This could be a little darker, so I'll just go over it again. Now sometimes just scribbling back over it will help darken the line, the transfer line. Try that first. If that doesn't work, that means, if it didn't work, that means you're going to have to darken the line on here. But it's working just fine. I can see mine just fine. I don't want it too dark on this paper because I don't really want it showing through my colored pencil work. Okay, I just need it dark enough that I can see it. over just a little bit of it to make sure that I can see it clearly. Not too dark. So there's a lot of flipping back and forth with your paper to make sure you can see it. I forgot to get the highlight in there, so I'm going to go back in there and put that on. There's a little highlight on this one. All right, and then you just work your way through your image and just keep it flipping back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and checking. You'll know pretty quick if you missed a spot when you look at your transfer. The important thing is you keep your lines super close together when you're scribbling over it, because if you have space between them, you'll have a fragmented image on your other paper, or a fragmented line. Make sure you stop often and check underneath to make sure everything's transferring. getting a little bit of a hand cramp scribbling over it, you're probably putting just the right amount of pressure on it. Hopefully you're checking it often. I'll go right back over here just a little bit. So most of the rest of it's on there. Now guys, when you finish, don't pull this paper off of this paper. Leave it on there for now. Okay, once I've finished, I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to keep that paper, that other paper, and I'm going to just use it like a cover over it. I'll just fold that so it's out of my way. I want to keep that in case, if I miss something, you'll know when you start drawing on it. I can always just flip it back over and put it on there. But if I pull it off, I'll never get it to realign correctly again, ever in a million years. Also, I'm going to wash my hands before I start because I've got graphite all over the place, so I want clean hands before I start. I suggest if you've got any graphite on your hands, clean them before we start. But I'll give you guys a few minutes.